Welcome into the Dallas Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, and it is time for a mailbag, as promised. All of today's questions, by the way, focusing more on free agency, and I threw in a couple trade ones as well. From Tim, why the Cowboys don't do anything for free agency? They are not aggressive. I hate the Cowboys. We're off with a banger, right? Look, I get it. I get that the Cowboys aren't aggressive in free agency, and I understand the frustration. And I truly wish they were more aggressive and trying to maximize what is a window right now with a young franchise quarterback in Dak Prescott. Now, John's got a similar comment here. Since Jerry and Steven have no fear of getting fired like other GMs, you think they tend to be too conservative and not go for it. Other GMs can kick the can down the road and make the next GM deal with salary cap issues. Jerry and Steven don't have to do that. I think that's fair. I think this is a very good point by John. That because there's no threat of losing your job if you don't win a title ASAP, mostly Steven here does not have to worry about being all in on one particular window. It appears to me, based on the Cowboys' move, that Stephen Jones loves flexibility, and he wants to not be all in on a certain time period, even if you have the franchise quarterback to that. And I disagree with that approach. I think Jerry, at his age, probably feels the urgency just a little bit more. But I do think that's a very accurate and astute observation that Steven doesn't have the same urgency that other GMs have as a result. So I want you guys to grade the Cowboys free agency, at least so far, with all the moves that they've made. A simple A, B, C, D, or F will do, although feel free to maybe throw in a plus or a minus as well. This question is the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down, get your votes in. A, B, C, D, or F. From Moses Campos, what about the Cowboys going after J.C. Jackson from the Patriots? Historically speaking, there are very few times in which a tendered player, an RFA like J.C. Jackson, gets an offer sheet from a different team. Very rarely, especially when it's a second-round tender or above in Jackson's case. In the end, even though I would explore, because I think J.C. Jackson would be an awesome number 2 corner with Trevon Diggs. I don't think he's a number 1. I think he's more of the Marcus Peters style 1B, if that makes sense. I would explore it. I don't think the Cowboys will, because Jackson's going to want to get paid. He's not going to pass on free agency next year to take a middling offer from a team like the Cowboys. So they have to pay him top dollar. Cowboys haven't done that in the cornerback market. If you're the Patriots, meanwhile, if Jackson signs a non-top dollar offer sheet, they're just going to match it, right? So yes, I would explore it. In the end, I don't think it comes to fruition for the Dallas Cowboys. From Alex, so the Patriots and Cowboys were discussing trade possibilities surrounding Gallup and Gilmore. Second part coming up. First part, no, they were not. I know what Twitter report you're referring to. It is a fake account. It is a fraudulent account that does not have any insider information. They just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and say, oh, look, we were right on one of the 7 things we tweeted about, and then delete the old ones. Not credible whatsoever. But there is some sensibility behind it. Stephon Gilmore's been linked in trade rumors and or speculation. Gallup's got 1 year left on his deal. I get the rationale behind it, and why that was thrown out there is a pretty smart guess if that's the route you're going to go. So because of that, I'm open to having this conversation, as we've had plenty of times before. It's an interesting proposition because you have a team that could still use some receiver help in New England and a team that could still use some cornerback help in the Cowboys. So, yeah, I think there is some connection there. Like, there's the logical thread, right? I don't know what Stephon Gilmore's trade value is. I really don't, because he's coming off a down year, coming off an injury, also wants to get paid. Frankly, both guys might be best viewed as a rental in a potential trade. So let's say, hypothetically, you could do a 1-for-1 swap. I'm not sure you can, but hypothetically speaking. Who would you rather have? Type M for Michael Gallup or type in S for Stephon Gilmore. From Text for Life, DC Farrell, do you believe Jadeveon Clowney could be an Everson Griffin signing for us? Cheap 1-year prove-it deal. Yeah, I'm open to that conversation. I don't know exactly what the market looks like for Clowney. Now, remember, Griffin didn't sign until August. If Clowney's still out there, kind of like he was last year, I'm open to exploring it. In fact, I kind of like that idea. It makes sense, but again, if you're going to wait till after the draft, well, then you have to wait till after the draft and see just how big of a need edge rusher actually ends up being. Today's show is made possible by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you see on your screen, Cowboys125. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. So $100 goes into your account, and basically an extra $125 on top of that. A great deal. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Cowboys125. From @GirlDad88, is Danny Shelton a fit in Quinn's defense? Dan Quinn has had big guys before. He had them in Seattle. He had Dontari Poe for a year, better version of Dontari Poe, in Atlanta. So, yeah, I think they can make Danny Shelton work. I don't know if they're going to have that much interest because, frankly, Shelton has not been that great. But I would at least explore it as a cheap veteran option. So who do you guys still want the Dallas Cowboys to sign? Any player currently on the market that you want them to go get? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments section. From Timothy Sweet, do you think the Cowboys should pursue a veteran free agent quarterback with Dalton in Chicago, or maybe a mid to late round pick not sold on Gilbert or DiNucci? Sure. And look, especially once you get to like round 6 and 7, I am always down to take a flyer on a quarterback because they could end up being decent at least, but in the odds of missing are the same as any other position. Veteran, I'm also down there too. I feel okay with Garrett Gilbert being your backup quarterback. And in the end, especially at the contract level we're talking about for Dak Prescott, in an ideal world, I find a cheap veteran who can help me win about 50% of my games, maybe it's more 40% in today's NFL, if Dak misses, let's say, 4 games, somewhere in that range. So I can go around 2-2 or 2-3 in a 5-game stretch. That's my ideal outcome. But if Dak is down for the entire season, that's why I'm not breaking the bank on a backup, by the way, I'm screwed. We saw it last year, right? In the words modified for language of Tom House, as to why they didn't play the backups in practices for behind Peyton Manning, if Manning goes down, we're effed, and we don't practice effed. It's kind of my mindset with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys right now. Now, if you want to stay up to date on what's going on around America's team, hit that big red button and subscribe. The march to 100,000 subscribers, it is underway, and we are less than 10,000 away. We're going to get there, and in the not-too-distant future, I promise. So join the Cowboys Report. Hit that big red button today. From Jonathan Steele, re-signed Sean Lee for really cheap. I'm actually very surprised we've not yet had a decision of any type made by Sean Lee. There's been no report or announcement of, I'm retiring, I'm coming back, I want to play for the Cowboys. And that's really surprised me. I thought we would know before free agency. That we don't makes me wonder, maybe Sean Lee could go somewhere else. Maybe the Cowboys are letting Sean Lee take his time, saying there is a spot open for you playing or coaching-wise no matter what. Only way I bring him back is on the cheap. Like, I love him. He's been one of my all-time favorite Cowboys, but he's just not the same guy he was anywhere near back in his prime. From Rocketman, where is rookie Dak and rookie Zeke? We need them back in action. First off, Dak's better than what he was in his first year. Like, if you disagree, you've not looked at anything other than the box scores. I'm sorry. As for rookie Zeke, well, you don't have rookie Zeke's offensive line. Sorry on that one. And from the Dreamer, at what point will everyone admit the Dak signing was a horrible mistake? Bad take here. There's no way around it, the Dreamer. Thanks for the question, but you're wrong. If you're trying to win football games in the near future, which I think for the most part we all are, the signing of Dak Prescott was the best way to go about that. Now, if Dak gets hurt again and whatever, okay, that's a different conversation. I don't think that's like the outcome right now. Signing Dak unquestionably gave you the best chance to win football games. If you don't think Dak's top 10 quarterback, I'm sorry, guys, then we're wrong. Like that is the only available outcome. You couldn't try and rank other guys above them. Objectively, subjectively, you are wrong. So, dread it, run from it. That is the reality no matter what.